Welcome to Airgun Extra, brought to you in association with Crackshot, the Southwest's premier airgun centre and ranges. In this week's review section, I'm looking at a piece of kit that could prove very useful in the recent wet weather we've been enduring. But before that, Rich Saunders is putting the DNT Thermnight to good use on farmyard rats.
Well, we've had another flock change down on the farm and all the birds have gone. And the footage you've just seen was from a couple of nights ago when the rats were mopping up the last of the chicken feed. Now I shot hundreds and they've all gone in the incinerator, so they're understandably they're a little bit more cautious than they were, but there's still quite a few around, and they're starting to spread out to other parts of the farm now as well. The birds will be coming on in another week or so. So I've only got a short window to really crack down on the numbers, but hopefully there's lots of rats that's just started to move around the other chicken shed, and I can see a load underneath the farmer's motorhome, so it's not going to like that. So the Thermnight takes 18650 batteries, and this is an old one. It's good for quite a few hours, to be honest, but once you get down to a certain level, I think it's like about 20%, then certain functions like the laser rangefinder don't work. So time for a quick battery change. So while I'm changing the battery, it's a really good opportunity for me to talk you through the gear that I'm using tonight. The scope is a DNT Optics Thermnight TNC225R. It's one of these multispectral scopes, which seems to be the next big thing for night vision. It's an entry model of 3 different models, and I think it's absolutely ideal for 12 foot-pound rifles. The thermal sensor is good, and you could use it for targeting prey, but to be honest, I've found the IR image and the daytime colour image to be so much clearer that I rarely use the thermal for targeting prey. I've got my Hikmicro Habrok binoculars with me, thermal binoculars. Makes it really easy for spotting rats when you're sort of looking around the yard. But the thermal mode on the Thermnight is brilliant for being able to, when you're on aim, to track where a rat has gone. It's just a press of a button, takes you into thermal mode to see where a rat's gone, then press the button again, and it takes you back to the IR mode. The rifle is a BRK Ghost. This is the carbine model, which is the most compact of the models. It has a smaller bottle than the other rifles in the range, but you still get plenty of shots out of this. It runs an 11-shot magazine, and this is a 2.2 12 foot-pound rifle. Don't be put off by the fact that it has a regulator knob at the front here, because that's just a dummy. And I'm using JTS dead center pellets in it. Now I've used them in quite a few rifles and they work really well. The BRK Ghost is not pellet fussy, but it works really, really well with the dead centers. Well, the Thermnight has a ballistic calculator on it, which is really useful on a rifle like the BRK Ghost, where the scope sits quite high, and therefore you need quite a little bit of hold off on shots, especially the close-up ones. It's simply one press of a button to range the distance, and another press of the button to give you the amended aim point. And so far it's been dropping me on shots between, I don't know, 7 or 8 meters out to about 24, 25 meters. Pellets and reload. Well, that one was only 9 meters away, and the ballistic calculator indicated a whole bunch of hold off for that. Well, I'm going to make that the last one. It's getting really late now and it's freezing cold. The BRK Ghost has been fantastic, hasn't missed a beat. The only missed shots have been purely down to me. And the DNT Thermnight has been an absolute revelation. You know, for 12 foot-pound use, this DNT TNC225R is great. It's got everything you need: integrated IR, rangefinder, ballistic calculator, and the ability to swap over to thermal. Really is fantastic. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Thanks very much for watching.
Rich Saunders doing a really thorough job on the rats again there. Now I just want to apologise for the loss of sync between the audio and video on some of Rich's kill shots. We're not sure what happened, but we will do our best to make sure it doesn't happen again. Next up, I'm taking a look at a shooting mat from Bisley. Right, well here's something we haven't featured before. It's a shooting mat, and this one is the Bisley Shooting Mat from John Rothery Wholesale. Now it has a recommended retail price of £99.95, which I think is pretty good value for a mat of this quality. Now obviously it's not an essential item of kit, but given the wet weather that we've had over the past few months, I think it could prove to be an extremely useful one. So the purpose of a shooting mat is to create a dry, comfortable barrier between you and the ground. And this particular mat is very comfortable because of its thick, padded cushioning. So whether you are a hunter or a target shooter, it'll keep you dry and clean when taking prone shots, whatever state the ground's in. There are some really clever features built into the Bisley Shooting Mat, including a textured rubber section. Now the primary purpose of this section is to stop your elbows from slipping when you're taking those prone shots, but the extra grip also prevents any accessories that you need to have close to hand from rolling around. Now I've said that this mat is great for taking prone shots, but it's far more versatile than that. Because it's waterproof, you can use it to keep your knees dry when taking kneelers on boggy ground, and because of that thick, comfortable padding, it makes for a brilliant cushion to sit on either when you're waiting in ambush and when taking those all-important sitting shots. This is a nice big shooting mat measuring 75 by 180 centimetres. Now I'm over 6 feet tall and it's plenty big enough for me. Now it weighs about 4 kilos, which is about the weight of a typical unscoped airgun. And it folds up to the size of 75 by 45 centimetres, which means that it will easily fit in the boot of a car, and its carry handles make it extremely straightforward to carry around. The Bisley Shooting Mat is very, very tough. It's made from a strong, waterproof material and should give years of good service. Now what's really clever about it is the way that it folds up means that the side that's in contact with the ground, and that's the side that gets wet and gets muddy, never comes into contact with the side that you want to keep clean because you have to lie on it when you're shooting. Now, it's also very easy to keep that underside clean with little more than a quick wipe down. The advantages of having a shooting mat are pretty obvious during the winter months when the ground is usually wet and muddy. But apart from giving you a surface to shoot from, it also provides a clean, dry surface that you can put your gun and bottle on when you're refilling. And there are plenty of times during the summer when the ground is still wet and muddy. There are also those times when the ground has been baked during hot weather and it's rock hard. A mat like this will give you a comfortable surface to lie and shoot from when taking those prone shots. The truth is that when you're comfortable, you shoot better, and a shooting mat like this will help you to achieve that end. So that is the Bisley Shooting Mat from John Rothery Wholesale. It is a bit of a change from the guns and optics that I usually find myself reviewing, but it's a brilliant piece of kit. It is very, very well made, and it functions brilliantly both in terms of use and in transit. If you're looking for a shooting mat, this is a really good one and certainly worth considering. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for this week, but if you want more free airgun content, check out our website airgunextra.com, where you'll find hunting articles, airgun reviews and airgun news. Thanks again to Crackshot. You can check them out at their website crackshot.uk and also on Facebook. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. As I said, I'm back again with much more in 2 weeks' time. In the meantime, enjoy your shooting and stay safe.